This is Paramount Comedy 1, Never Mind the Chestnuts. Here's something really worth getting your chops round.
When the controversial filmmaker Sir Leslie Quint returned to Britain in 1963, his reputation was in tatters. Spat out by Hollywood, he desperately needed a commercial hit. But Britain had moved on again, and it was not clear what his next step should be.
Well, you know, London was just starting to swing, and I thought that I could manage one of the new pop bands that were emerging at the time. So I got together a group of young lads, and I decided that they should form a group, and I could call them the Grasshoppers. I even got them suits and little shorts to dress in. But when they played, they were ghastly. And that's when I knew that my true talent lay with film.
Hell-bent on resuscitating his career, Leslie looked to adapt his idiosyncratic style to the social realist movement that was currently in vogue. His 1964 film Bastard was a working-class drama set in the industrial community of Manchester.
Well, the 60s was a time when everybody was very cross. People were marching about and shouting, and it seemed that getting yourself worked up really was the thing to do. So I thought what better way to capture the zeitgeist of the time was to demonstrate in film how livid a man can be when he's denied his supper at the end of the day.
In the increasingly enlightened mood of 1960s Britain, Bastard was an unmitigated disaster, with one critic labeling the film incoherent drivel. Looking to bounce back quickly, Leslie made Sambo Island in 1965.
It was a mistake. Sambo Island was a mistake. In hindsight, perhaps I should have actually cast Afro-Caribbean actors instead of getting a load of white actors and then blacking them up. And as a result, it really hasn't aged very well, and most cinemas won't show it. Which I think is a shame, because amongst all the hubbub about the racism, there really are some quite haunting moments. I'm thinking particularly of that scene where they fight for the watermelon.
Unemployable on both sides of the Atlantic, Leslie decided to take refuge in Hampstead, North London. As the 1960s began to swing, Leslie drifted away from the limelight, only making the gossip columns when in 1966 he married a woman he'd met at his local bus stop.
Well, I used to get the number 72 bus into town because I had to get some publications that you cannot get in Smith's. And I met her at the bus stop, and I was compelled by her beauty to touch her. She didn't like that. They rarely do. But after a time, she got used to it, and she liked it, and pretty soon we were married.